Uh, uh, wait. Um. I'm gonna get water and then we will start this. Um. Right. Continue. Load. This one. Oh, let me just get some water. Hey, hello, Struggle. Um, but you were here like all of last stream pretty much, right? So I don't need to fill you in. I honestly like partly forgot what happened. What? Hopefully it's an okay volume. Oh god, I'm like my chest like stuck. I continued to ignore Nanami until we got to school, upon which I ditched her to walk down the noisiest ever hallway to my classroom. When walking down the hallway, stay along the edge. Don't walk too fast or too slow. Don't make eye contact with anyone. Those were the 3 rules I always followed. That was how I didn't stand out in school. I transformed myself into an existence akin to air itself. That was my secret to success. Yo, Taku! Yet people like him definitely made it hard for it to actually work. Catching up to me from behind, Misumi-kun greeted me in the normal, overly friendly fashion by clapping a hand on my shoulder. What's up, bro? Come on, you could at least greet me back. Well, whatever. I already know you're not really that kind of guy. Hey, remember the chick I was talking about a couple weeks back from Class D? You know, the super cute one that doesn't come to school that often? Uh-oh. Her name's Kishimote Arase. Anyways, I discovered something absolutely insane about her. Misumi-kun suddenly lowered his voice, then looked around us. It was just gonna be something vulgar, wasn't it? Already tired of his bullshit, almost let out a sigh. You know, Fess, right? But what he said made me bite it back. That Kishimote chick, she is Fez. That really threw me for a loop. I can't believe Fez is a student at our school. And did you know she's in the same year as us too? For whatever reason, Misumi-kun leaned his upper body out the window and gazed up towards the sky with a look of pure ecstasy. This This has to be the fate thing everyone's always talking about. This was the 3rd floor. If he were to slip, he'd fall to the ground and break his neck, and then his life just like that. My anxiety steadily climbed as I watched him. Mizukan leaned further and further and further out the window before switching his gaze down towards the entrance beneath. Oh shit, speak of the devil, oh shit, speak of the devil, Taco. I see Kishimoto should be here any minute. Huh? With so many coincidences piling up one after another, maybe it really was fate, not that I cared. Alright, I'll be waiting to pounce on her. I'll show you a thing or two about picking up chicks. Now, watch me work. He was brimming with self-confidence. Man, alpha males like him really were impressive. Picking up girls and all that was a completely different world for me. It wasn't even worth trying. It's all about confidence. Not like I had any. Yeah, that makes sense. A few moments later, Fez, Kishimoto Ayase appeared. It was just like Misumi-kun said, she really was Fez. I made sure of that while observing her from a safe distance. I still couldn't believe she was in the same year as us. She was wearing a sume uniform. A distinct aloofness came from her expression as she walked slowly down the hallway. It gave off a completely different impression than the one she'd had on stage. Back then, despite her apathetic tone, I'd felt a sense of power and liveliness emanating off of her. But now the aura she gave off felt listless and unapproachable. Ignoring this, likely deliberately, Musukan strolled over to her with the same overly friendly attitude he always had with me, then casually stopped right next to her. Yo, Kishimoto-san, good morning. Whoa, his smile was so invigorating, despite being so obviously fake. I had no idea how he was able to act like that around someone he barely knew. That's why we love him. That's why we admire him. Then again, I didn't really want to be like him. I think that's a quote from something. Oh yeah, I'm Misumi Daisuke. Nice to finally meet you. Oh wait, that might make you think we haven't met before, right? But nope, not true. So I went to a Phantasm concert the other day, and you know what that means? It means our 2nd time seeing each other. And I just want to say this: your voice from back then, how do I put this? It gave me the chills. And it's not like I'm the type of guy to follow the herd, you know. Sure, I was taken in by your looks and how cute you are and stuff. But what impressed me the most was how perfectly in sync you and your band were. You know, like how perfect that sound and your voice work together. You guys show me what real harmony's like. Fun fact about me, Jesus Christ, this guy didn't shut up. I've always wanted to start a band. So if it's cool with you, could you tell me how to find some bandmates or any other tips I think I should know? Oh, but that's kind of putting you on the spot, isn't it? So maybe not. Wait, I know. Are you free after school today? How about we go and take some time to talk about it? Misuko just kept on talking and talking with no breaks. His tone was different than usual, and it was obviously fake. Not only that, but he wasn't hitting on her directly, instead using the band egg in order to invite her somewhere nonchalantly. I never heard this fun fact about Misuko and wanted to start a band before. It had to be a lie. He was willing to go that far in order to win some points, to force a flag rather than obtaining it naturally. But she just dipped. Oh. Fez didn't even so much as look at him. Let's go with bad. She simply continued. God, that heartbeat is so fucking loud. She simply continued to walk down the hallway at the same pace, as if not a sound had reached her ears. Hey, you listening? Suddenly, Fez stopped in her tracks. Her slightly lowered gaze slowly rose up, and then she looked at me. Huh? Me? Come to think of it, the same thing had happened at the concert. It felt like Fez was staring directly at me. But that had been like 2 weeks ago, and I've been stared at by a whole bunch of freaky 3D girls since then. God, what the hell was going on? Was I becoming popular now? You over there. Yeah? When she called to me, I snapped her attention and replied. The otherworldly aura radiating off her entire body had me viewing her as someone older than myself. Then again, she was my classmate, so we had to be in the same year. Fez signalled towards Misumiko, who had been following her around with a jerk of the chin. You shouldn't associate with someone like him. Oh, come on, that's not cool. That bites, you know, talking about someone like that. Besides, what's someone like him supposed to mean anyway? A troublesome person. Excuse me? Oh boy. The look on Misumikun's face turned very clearly sour, but Fez... what did he say? A troublesome... but Fez left the sharp glint in his eye unanswered, letting it pass by without even any interest. What a nasty atmosphere. I didn't want to be involved in this. I was I was a total embarrassment when it came to fighting, be it physically or verbally. Besides, if I caused any problems at school, it'd have an impact on my evaluations. To avoid getting caught up in it, I should probably get out of here right away. What? Kishimoto-san? You trying to make me look stupid? Not particularly. You are simply a nuisance. Oh, I see. So that's what's happening here. That's just how you talk, Kishimoto-san. Hey, here's an idea. Let's go somewhere where we can be all alone, and then we can talk all you like, nice and slow. As Fez's smiles trembled with rage, Mitsuko placed a hand on her shoulder. Her eyebrows twitched. Do not touch me. Oh, don't be like that. Come on, let's get to know each other better. I told you not to touch me. Oh, shut the fuck up. I told you to come with me. Oh god, it's getting a bit rapey. Fool. Baka. It happened in an instant. Even though I'd seen the whole thing, I still couldn't comprehend exactly what happened. Oh, oh, oh. He got shanked. Well, I could even blink. That awesome mic stand, or maybe a sword, was now being held tightly in Fez's hand. I had no idea where she retrieved it from, but she now brandished it with incredible ease. And then Mitsuko's left hand was clean severed from his wrist. An explosion of blood erupted from the wound, and the severed hand fell into the floor. The hallway was turning crimson. I hadn't seen anything. I hadn't seen anything at all. I hadn't seen her draw her sword. I hadn't seen the trail of light it carved when it was swung. I didn't see Mitsuko's arm get lopped off. It all happened in the blink of an eye, and by the time I realized what happened, it was already over. My heart, my arm, my leg! Mitsuko collapsed on the spot, frantically picked up his hand. Frantically picked up his hand is such a great line. And tried desperately to reattach it to his arm. Ugh. His screams echoed throughout the hallway. All the students around us screamed and ran off in a panic. Oh god, she's got like that creepy Yandere face on. As for Fez, she was still holding her sword, calmly admiring the chaos. Then, for the second time, she looked at me. Her red tongue slowly cleaned her lips as a fierce blush dyed her cheeks, her smile stretching the colour across her face. This feels heavenly. I don't know who said that. Was that her or him? No such carnage had unfolded. While I was over here drowning in my moronic delusions, Fez was murmuring something in a low voice, only to up and disappear soon after. You lost your touch, Dusuke. Damn it. Mitsuko was sulking, having been completely and utterly disregarded. Considering how she was able to turn alpha male of his caliber like he was no lower than a spur on a boot of hers, to deter him like he was nothing more than a typical monsieur, maybe the other team was what Fez preferred, a true Yuri connoisseur. Man, she'd make a great sewer. Especially if she was a Lottie type character like Nanami. That's the stuff, bro. I won't even bother trying again with an antisocial bitch like her. God damn it, this sucks ass. What's up with that finding a sword shit anyways? Makes no sense to me. A sword? Yeah, that's what Kishimoto was going on about. Aren't you listening? Find a sword. If you do, you'll be granted salvation, or something like that. Salvation? Hey Taku, are there any Phantasma songs with lyrics like that? A sword? Could it be that thing from my delusion earlier? That mic stand that I hadn't been able to figure out if it was a sword or not. Come to think of it, there'd been another person a couple days ago that had interrogated me about a sword. That Senna girl, the one who was absolutely terrifying. I actually thought she was going to slice me in two. The sword she'd been carrying was a different shape than the one Fez had, but they had a similar aura to them. Could the two be connected somehow? I didn't know. There was too much shit I didn't know. Shogun, the demon girl, Yua, Fez, Senna, swords. As was my old habit, I jotted down a list of all the things I didn't know enough about in my head. I'd meant to put myself as one final item on the list, but I decided against it. I was completely normal. It was the stuff happening all around me that wasn't. That was the most obvious conclusion. That's what a crazy person would say. Was Fez my ally or my enemy? It would be nice to know at least that much. Problem was, I didn't have the courage to ask her. Today I headed straight for Animite, without stopping by at Cafe. The reason, of course, was to finally pick up my long-awaited Bloodtune figure, Seratan, post-awakening version. Oh, do you think we'll see Yua in here? While I was in checkout, Yua's face crossed my mind for a second, but I cut off those thoughts immediately. I glanced at the Seratans that were on the display in order to attract customers, but since the sculptor was Kijima Yoshio, not a single word needed to be said about their quality. I had to get home fast so I can enjoy her every nook and cranny as soon as possible. As long as I could admire Seratan's face every now and then while I played ESO, I was content. So why did the entire third dimension do nothing but bring me trouble? It plagued me even now. I headed straight for my base in high spirits, forgetting all about fez and swords and whatever else, and practically skipping the entire way home. Oh god, it's these guys. The generic anime guy. When I was about 50 meters away, I encountered two men who carried an unmistakably abnormal air about them. I attempted to pass by them without making eye contact, but they were very clearly watching me. You're over there. Could we have a moment? The first of the two to call out to me was a dull older man, one that looked like he belonged at a cycling racetrack gambling his life away. His hair was unkempt and his beard unshaven. He wore a worn-out suit, a sloppily tied necktie, and dress shoes that didn't even show a trace of being cared for. All of it came together to form an unparalleled example of a man who'd failed to get ahead in life. For some reason, the fact that he was flapping a fan at himself only served to further emphasize how pathetic he looked. His expression was similarly languid, his mouth curled into a flippant smile. And yet, when our eyes met for a split second, I knew that he wasn't really smiling. There was nowhere to run. As I searched for something to reply to them with, the two men made their way up to me. In case you're wondering who we are, the older man took out a black badge from his suit and held it towards me. It was the same kind of police badge you see in various TV shows, but it was obviously the first time I'd seen one in real life. He can't finally come for me. They could only be here for one thing, the crucifixion case. Mind if we ask you a couple questions? We won't force you, of course. Oh, no, don't worry. You can take it easy. We're not after you or anything. We just want to hear your takes on things, honest. The way he spoke didn't show a trace of trying to intimidate me. The other younger detective, however, wore a strict expression as he nonchalantly moved to block my path. Sweat started running down my neck. If I made any wrong moves, they'd likely suspect me of being the culprit and haul me down to the station right then and there. I didn't want that to happen. I resigned myself and gave a small nod. Let's see. Have you heard about what's commonly referred to as the new generation madness? I knew it. I wiped the beads of sweat off my forehead and gave him a nod in reply. Then you would also know about the third case, aka the crucifixion case, correct? It did happen right in this neighborhood, after all. Well, we've been looking for witnesses. Oh, and while we were at it, could you tell me your name? A gulp forced itself down my throat. This wasn't some bait and switch, was it? Or maybe there were a bunch of con men who were only acting like policemen, while in reality they were just mining my personal information so they could put it into ill use. That could even be the demon girl's underlings. You still there? Did we lose you? If they started to suspect me, there'd be no end to it. What should I do? If I gave them a fake name, they might arrest me immediately. Oh, are you worried about protecting your personal info? Ouch, do I really look that untrustworthy? I'll say. Either way, his friendly way of speaking had to just be an act. The Shijo Takabi? In the end, I figured there was no way around it, that it was my best interest to answer, honestly. Nishimi Takami-kun. Mind if I call you that? I shook my head. You sure about that? Huh? What was that supposed to mean? I had purposely given him my real name, so what the hell was that reaction? Haha, sorry, I'm just yanking your shade of scotch. A scotch. Don't worry about it. The detective's unnatural laughter rung throughout the quiet residential area. Just hurry up and let me go already. That uniform of yours, it's from Sume, ain't it? What year are you? Did I have to answer stuff like that? Second? Sorry, didn't catch that. I'm at the edge where your ears start to go. Could you run that by me one more time? Second year? Second year, got it. Alright then, Nishijo-san. As for... Wait, why has he changed from sound? Content sound. As for what we wanted to ask you, where were you on the 29th from 6 PM to 10 PM? Yikes. Yikeroonies. Are they asking for my alibi? Did that mean they suspected me? That's ridiculous. Oh, it's not like we suspect you or anything. Just thought that if you were in the neighborhood, you might have seen someone suspicious or heard something. That's all. For some reason, the way the guy talked was really starting to get to me. Maybe talking in a way that that deliberately agitated the subject was some kind of interrogation technique. Oh, I'm sure it is. Of course, I had seen some suspicious activity. I've seen someone very clearly and with my own 2 eyes, but I wasn't sure if it would be a good idea to tell them tell them to this shady old guy. What would I do if I told him that the demon girl came back for revenge? It seemed like this demon girl was letting me run free for now, but she still had Shogun on her side, and he was equipped with precognitive powers. By that logic, they must have meant that the demon girl had some sort of insane power as well. And if that was true, and I told the police about it, she might find out about it immediately because of her clairvoyance or whatever, and then she'd come to kill me right after. So, Nishigo-kun, surely isn't that hot out today, is it? My heart rate skyrocketed. If I stay silent like this, they would absolutely suspect me of being a criminal, but at the same time, I was scared that if I lied and said I didn't see anything, they'd see right through me. The older man fanned me a couple times with his fan. A cool breeze rustled my hair. We're pretty deep into fall after all, so I can't say I feel it's as hot as outside to be sweating. Well, no one's built quite the same as anyone else, I suppose. Ironic considering he was the one walking around with a fan, but he was right. It wasn't all that hot out today. It was perfect, actually. The kind of temperature you'd actually enjoy spending time in. I wiped this sweat off my forehead with my sleeve countless times now. I didn't do it. Oh. The look in his eyes shifted. I realized that I'd slipped up, but I had no idea what exactly had tipped him off. What didn't you do? They definitely suspected me, I had to answer honestly. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Staring at the manhole cover right beneath my feet, I began to blurt out everything. I thought he was going to say I dipped into the sewers to get away from him. I saw something. At the crucifixion crime scene, there was a girl. She was standing in front of the body, and her hands were covered in blood. There were tons of stakes stabbed into the corpse. There had to be over 500 of them. It was so messed up. The body, it looked almost like a hedgehog. The girl, she looked at me and she said, "Thank goodness," and then she smiled at me. That girl, she's not human, she's a demon. She's the culprit behind New Gen. She's a being that transcends humanity. She has precognitive powers and super strong ESP, and yeah, he totally didn't sound like a loony there. His eyes. Upon saying that, I realized the 2 detectives were staring at me with their eyes wide. Maybe they didn't believe me. Thinking that, I clapped my mouth shut. A demon, huh? I see. That's very helpful. No, I'm telling the truth. I know. I never doubted that. You've given us some valuable information. Really? Is this valuable? Really? Please get the police to protect me. Before we do all that, do you know how old the girl was? Her clothes, her facial features, stuff like that I'll also do. Sume uniform. Sume, you mean Sume Academy? She was wearing a Sume uniform. In other words, she goes to the same high school as you, Nishigo-kun. After simmering on that for a moment, the old man grinned. He then muttered something that could be either an actual question or him just mumbling to himself. What year is she in, I wonder? What do you think, Nishigo-kun? I don't know. Alright then, what's her name? I don't know that either. I don't know that demon's name. What about her height and weight, and while you're at it, her measurements? What was up with this old man? He was screwing with me. How was I supposed to know even a single one of those? Did he think I could instantly get all those measurements from a single glance? Oh yeah, sure, I absolutely had such a stupid power. Oh wait, no I didn't, because that wasn't a goddamn rom-com manga. Oh, I mean, you could ask like for that hair color and like short, tall, fat, thin sort of thing. So you're climbing up over there telling me you don't know. No big deal. You've been a big help today. I've got to head back to HQ and consider all this carefully. Sir, are you serious? Waving his hand to silence the dumbfounded younger detective, the older man signaled something to him with his eyes. Oh, before I forget, Nishigo-kun, could you tell us how to get a hold of you? Why? I knew they wouldn't believe me. They wanted to label me as some sort of nut job and falsely accuse me of everything. Well, you said there was a demon, didn't you? We gotta protect you from it somehow, no? So that's why you asked. Oh, thank God. They actually believed me. If I could... Yeah, I'm being a bit gullible there, brother. If I could get the police to protect me, it would be incredibly reassuring. Yes, the enemy was a demon, so the police would only get one shot if they went up against her, but it was better than being unarmed. Feeling slightly relieved, I took out the phone I had bought a few days prior and showed him my phone number. The younger detective scribbled it down in his notebook. Well, time for us to jet. Thank you for your time. We'll keep you safe. So don't you worry. Alrighty, if we have any more questions, we'll give you a ring, so keep your ears peeled. Make sure not to pretend like you're not there or something, you hear me? As for now, you are an invaluable asset to the police. Huh? Your eyewitness testimony could be exactly what we need to blow this case wide open. Have a good one. The two detectives bowed their heads and promptly took off. After taking a glance at me over his shoulder, the younger detective whispered something to the older one. The older man paid him no mind and simply continued to walk. I let out a long, long sigh. That was intense. It was the first time I've ever been questioned by actual detectives. I had acted pretty suspicious without meaning to, but they believed me anyway, somehow. Well, that's what they said. God, I'd give anything for the police to arrest the demon girl. Then again, the police didn't have any special powers, so maybe I should just keep my expectations low. And then noticed that my mouth had gone incredibly dry without me realizing, so I redirected myself to the nearest vending machine and got myself a cola. Holy shit, the costume on the post-awakening version is way too erotic. Her panties are completely visible. But that's what's good about it. Sarah, your face is so cute, Sarah. The attempt to match the anime is somewhat lacking, but her face has that distinct eroticism to it that permeates through all of Kijima Yoshida's works, which means that more than makes up for it. One of your best works, Kijima-san. GG. Good job, my lord. Her jacket is removable too. From this angle, she almost looks completely naked. Holy shit. The way her hair flows looks so fucking good. I had a theory that the hair would be what truly sells a post-awakening version. I definitely wasn't wrong there. Alright, then the part we've all been waiting for. Let's take a look at the panties. Let's see. Oh, I said fucking awesome sauce. Fucking cringe, bro. Oh, I haven't heard that one for a while. Wow, they did an amazing job on a B zone. The wrinkles look so real. Wait, no, could it be Counter? Holy shit. Holy shit, the sheer quality of display here is true. Oh, that one's good on the. That one's good on the Discord. His fucking guy. This is only the 5th model, yet they've managed to put out a masterpiece this quickly. Seriously, how do they expect to top this? Kijima is an actual god. I carefully stood by near Sarah-tan next to my monitor. Sarah, you're so sexy, Sarah. Simply looking over at her made me grin uncontrollably. Life was good. I'm glad I don't I'm glad I don't know someone called Sarah in real life, because this would make it very awkward to say this stuff. I logged on and immediately started posting my impressions on my new Sarah-tan figure on our channel. When I finished doing that, I went to check my email and then checked to see if any of my friends on Frepara had posted any updates. Oh, huh, I've got a friend request. Uh-oh. Who do you think it's gonna be? I reckon it's gonna be Senna. Who's this? Probably someone from the Sarah fandom. Sure, accept. But that, no, definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. Now then, time for Iso. But the very second I thought that, I felt chills on the nape of my neck. It was the gaze, complete with its usual intense presence. Whose eyes are those eyes? When had I first started feeling the gaze, I'd long since forgotten it. It slithered its way into each and every part of my life, bothering the shit out of me all the way. There was a lot of things that disturbed my peace, but the gaze was right up there with Nanami as the most irritating thing I had to deal with. Wow, homophobic much, Jesus. Fine then, let's do it. It will take more than that to make me turn around, game. Still fixated on my monitor, I tried to think of some cool lines you'd hear in a manga. Come on out, you piece of shit! Did you think you could pull the wool over my eyes? How incredibly naive. Ah, you found me out. Of course I have. Of course I have. How many times have I told you not to stand behind? Was that a woman's voice just now? Goosebumps stood up all over my body. How the reclusive owner of the gaze finally decided to show themselves. Was that even possible? Should I turn around and see who it was? But what if she attacked me at the moment I did? Was it just Sarah's voice? It was a fairly cute sounding voice, but what if in reality a monster far removed from anything human was standing there? No. If that were the case, wouldn't that mean that they were getting ready to attack me right now? If I didn't turn around right now, I wouldn't even notice if they killed me. Maybe I should say something else to see if they respond. It was possible that the voice I'd heard was just a hallucination or something, or a delusion or something, so that'll help confirm it. And I mean, I talk to my Town figure all the time in my head, and it had to be the same thing. Well, I tried to be bold and say, "Who are you?" but I hesitated. If I was to provoke the attacker, it could have very easily spelled the end for me. It could have caused her to finally stop waiting and attack me. So many delusions ran through my head that I found myself completely paralyzed. What should I do? Maybe the whole thing was a product of my own design, and I was just being the world's biggest dumbass. I swear, if the owner of the gaze wasn't here, and I'd just be sitting here trembling in fear of nothing, I was going to kill my... Huh? Taku, why are you so tense? Is that the sister? I'm sure it's Sarah's voice. It wasn't a hallucination or delusion after all. There was someone right behind me. Startled, I reflectively turned around. It's hiya. The demon girl. The girl sitting on the sofa was undeniably the same one I had seen at the crucifixion crime scene, and now for some reason I couldn't comprehend. She was just standing there, looking at me, smiling. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. She'd finally come to kill me. It had to be because the detectives I'd talked to, she'd seen me do it with her clairvoyance. After that, she had gone on to infiltrate my base without making a sound, take up a position in which she could kill me at any moment, and then revel in it as I cried and screamed in terror. It couldn't be anything else. Don't kill me! I tried to scream, but I was too terrified to make a sound. A deer? Tilting her neck to the side, the demon girl unleashed a strange incantation. It had to be some demonic tongue. She was cursing me. In hopes of gaining as much distance as possible from her, I went to hide underneath my desk. The problem was I was so shaken that I ended up bashing my head into the edge of it, rendering me unable to move as I writhed in pain. Oh, nice one, idiot. Pfft, what are you doing, Taku? That was a crazy loud sound you just made. Bonk. Even now, the demon girl was keeping up her amused smile, but it had to be a trap, one built to lull me into a false sense of security. The second I let my guard down, she'd sweep in and end me, or maybe she already had, with that curse she'd placed on me a minute ago. In a few days, my entire body would suddenly start spewing blood everywhere, and I'd die right there and then and there. I beg you, don't kill me. I got down on my hands and knees, cradled my head between my arms. Those goddamn detectives completely fucked me over. I'm sorry, I talked to the police, so please. Huh? And even when I told them everything, they didn't believe a word I said. It was a lie meant to buy some time. The older detective said he'd guarantee my safety. If he was doing his job properly, he would have sent at least one officer over to my place. Upon thinking that, I suddenly realised I'd be giving the old man my phone number, but I hadn't given him my address. Bishi. Suddenly, the demon girl assumed a pose resembling a salute. And what was just as, if not more strange, was that she said it almost like a sound effect. Was it another demonic curse? You're gonna stop talking like that right now. Stuff like, don't kill me, the police, or any other weird stuff like that. I've got no clue what any of it means. What? Was she trying to play dumb? Or was this a roundabout way of threatening me, and in actuality she was saying, forget the truth, act if it's nothing have ever happened. What the hell was she thinking? Hadn't she come here to kill me? Come on, can you stand? Here, let me help you up. The demon girl got up from the couch and reached her hand out to me. Her expression was so gentle, and now that I was seeing her close up, she was actually pretty cute. Not in time. Damn it, I was letting her get to me. Stop acting like a goddamn idiot. Was I seriously calling a demon pretty cute? She was a murderer. She had used Yua and Shogun to trap me, and now she'd come to finish me off herself. Don't trust her. I already learned my lesson back with Yua. I'd never make the same mistake again. I refused to take her hand. Don't be deceived by this demon girl's smile. She was a demon trying to tempt me. If I gave in to her temptation, I'd die. Trust no one. Don't believe anything. Don't believe anything anyone says. But I saw you kill someone. Taku, don't you realize that's a pretty mean thing to say? Can't say I ever thought I'd get called a murderer. What's she gonna do with me? Are you gonna kill me? Just like with the guy in the 4th case, was she gonna put new gen? Or are you gonna take me west, you and Shogun? Oh, you are? Shogun? Who are those guys? Maybe the 3 of them had decided to work together. That way I wouldn't be able to fight back when they beat me to death. No, please, anything but that. Help me. Okay, I promise I'll help you, as long as you stop treating me like a murderer. So that was her true goal. Oh, come on, don't freak out like that. You react like this to every other thing I'd say, and it always bums me out. Please, I won't tell a single soul about you again, so please let me go. Hello, Taku, could you calm down a little? This bitch acted like we were close or something, calling me Taku or some shit. Wait, actually, how does she know my name? She already knew it back when we first met at the crucifixion crime scene. Dude, imagine it's like a sister or something, and he's just like, who does this stay to? How does she know? And also, how... Oh, we know he's hallucinating, but you know what I mean. And also, how does she know where my base was? I mean, why wouldn't I? It only makes sense. Why I would know your name, I mean. She had just read my mind. As she had just read my mind, I knew she was clairvoyant. She knew my name, my address, all because she'd used her powers on me. You sure do twitch yourself a whole lot, Taku. Then again, you've pretty much always done that. Wait, is this supposed to be like a real life Sarah? I'm not sure if the pink hair was a coincidence or not. You never tell in anime. Always? How long was she talking? I did say her voice sounded familiar, so that's probably why. Wait, had I been talking to myself out loud just now? I hadn't been aware of it at all. Was that really true? Had I really been talking to myself out loud? Or was it just possible that she was lying to me and in actuality she'd read my mind? Why wouldn't I know your name, Taku? I mean, I know I'm not great at remembering stuff, but at the very least, I'd always remember names of my friends. Friends? Also, Taku, are you making fun of me? Sure, my test scores aren't that high, but it kind of hurts when you say that sort of thing to my face, you know? Was someone here crazy? But who was it? Me? Her? Could you be a transfer student? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, there's apparently a transfer student moving into our class soon. Mr. Tsukichin said something like that. There were 2 different conversations going on here. My terror from earlier, together with the anxiety of having no idea where I'd get killed, having started to fade, but rushing into it to replace it was a completely new kind of dread, slithering in to slowly erode my mind. Hello? Judging by your face, I'm guessing you still don't believe me. Who are you? Who are they? A murderer? A demon girl? That was who. Wow, you can't even remember what your own classmate looks like? I can't believe you. Did she say classmate? So you weren't just friends, but classmates too? Well, I guess I can't bug you too much about it. You don't come to school very often after all. However, that doesn't mean you can just totally forget I exist. Have you really forgotten my name? There's no way. Come on, you have to know it. I know. You know it. Little creepy, little creepy. Oh, it's like Raimi or something, right? Raimi? Me? That's right, right on the money. 50 yen to you, contestant. What? Yep, Sakihata Rimi, reporting for duty. Wow, wait, you really do remember me. Glad to hear it. How? Was it true? Was the demon's girl name really Rimi? Why had that name suddenly popped into my head just now? Why did I know this girl's name? Maybe she really was my classmate and friend and I'd just forgotten. No, there was no way. I'd never even heard of the name Sakihata Rimi. It had to be a fake name. It had to be, fuck's sake. It had to be that when I said Rimi, she just decided that that'd be her name right then there. It was like one of those spam emails from a Nigerian prince that use your personal info. Besides, other than Yua, I never met a 3D girl who would talk to me like we were close in real life. And Yua was this demon girl's underling. Wait, that was it. What the girl calling herself Sakihata was doing right now was exactly the same thing that Yua had done. This temptress knew I had used I wasn't used to interacting with 3D girls, so she was attempting to lead me into a trap by behaving all friendly and trying to seduce me. It was the same exact strategy. The thing is, while I barely remember my classmates' faces at all, and I didn't plan to either, I could say with absolute certainty that I'd never seen this girl's face in the same classroom as me before. Probably. Damn it, I couldn't completely rule it out. After all, whenever I was at school, I was usually glued to my desk until the final bell, pretending to sleep, having delusions staring at my desk or feigning reading my textbooks. I didn't do anything else. I had next to no memory of my classmates' names or faces, so I didn't even try to remember any. Which was it? Was she telling the truth, or was it all a lie? No, it didn't matter whether or not we were classmates, because the one thing I knew for sure, the one hard, indisputable fact, was that she had committed murder. Are you really having trouble remembering? Did you get amnesia when you hit your head a little bit ago? The demon girl reached for my forehead. Don't touch me! I retreated back under the desk to try and avoid her. Taku, you're being weird. I know. How about you ask Daichin? If you do, maybe you'll remember then. Daichin? What the hell was that about? Was that a person? Or was that some kind of secret code? Another demonic incantation. Come on, Daichin! Daichin! Misumi Daisuke! Huh? She knew Misumi-kun's name. And not only that, but she was calling him Daichin? You wouldn't call him that unless they were really close. Okay, just a sec. The demon girl reached for a bag on the sofa, a bag that wasn't mine, and took out a cell phone. Let's see, Daichin, you should be... Alright, got him. Here you go. After a bit of fiddling with the phone, she held it out to me. When I made no motion to take it, the demon girl paused to smile and quickly grabbed my hand. Oh, come on, loosen up. She forced me to hold the cell phone. The demon girl's hand was soft and just a little bit cold. I expected it to be a lot colder, almost like ice, but it wasn't nearly that bad. I guess even murderers had blood flowing through her veins. And because her hand was unexpectedly feminine, my heart started to thump. No, don't fall for it. She's a demon. I never let her seduce me. I'm not into 3D. Lend me your power, Serotan. Taku, have you not used a cell phone before? You're supposed to put it up to your ear. Tilting her head, the demon girl peered at my face from point-blank rage. With her hand still grabbing mine, she brought the phone up to my ear. But before she did, I quickly looked at the screen. The registered name Daichin was displayed, and it looked like it was already calling them. But with no escape, I pressed the receiver up against my ear. I heard the sound of the phone ringing. Eventually, the sound stopped and was replaced by the voice of Misumi-kun. Hello? They didn't give me their name. It sounded like they were downtown or something, and I could hear a bunch of noise coming through their receiver. What's up? Rimi? Saki to Rimi. Misumi-kun knew her. Well, it wasn't like there was anything unusual. Misumi-kun was a natural-born playboy after all. I wouldn't be surprised if he had gone out with a demon girl in the past, or even if they were in a super intimate relationship now. That didn't matter to me, though. What I needed to know was whether the demon girl was my classmate or not. Whoa, new girl, and the main character hasn't changed one bit. Hand holding, and it's not even delusion. No, this is a delusion. Okay. Oh shit. Wait, you weren't here last stream, were you? So this is the murderer. He went back to his place, and I decided to have a bad delusion, and he was hearing a girl's voice behind him, and he was like shit scared. And she turned around, and she's here, and she's like, "I'm your classmate. Don't you know me?" And he's like, "I don't fucking know you." So she's currently called your mate on the phone, and trying to confirm that, like, if she's in the class or not. Okay, so fuck, what happened last stream? We were introduced to, you know the guy that was like, fuck, I actually don't remember too much. What it was just no, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. You know the guy that looked like a super generic anime guy with like the blue clothes? He's like a youngster detective, and there was another detective, like an older dude, and they just questioned us before this scene. He questioned us in the street, and our character basically just like spilled the beans. He's like, "I saw it was a demon girl," and he's like, "Oh, okay, I believe you. We'll protect you. Let's give me all your information." So, yeah. What else happened last time? So the end of the stream one where you were there, we left it with you were on the park bench. It's like, "I know you did this. I know you know." We didn't see her like at all. Yeah, last stream, she'd basically, I think we had like maybe one scene with her from her point of view, but basically we haven't been in contact with her at all. What the fuck happened, bro? There was like we went out with our sister to get a cell phone. Oh, there was a girl. Oh shit, yeah, no, I remember. Uishi is a generic anime boy. Fucking Uishi, Jesus Christ. Okay, so there was this other character who had this big old like sword, and he was weirded out. So this was like in the middle of like the busy city, and he was like, why the fuck is no one looking at this giant ass anime sword? And you like confront her, and she's like, do you see it? Do you see it? And he's like, see what? See what? And he's like, the sword, do you see it? So basically he can see the sword because he's like a disciple of something, and she is as well. I don't think we know too much about her. She's got like long purplish hair. I don't know if you were in the stream where we saw her very briefly at school. I think that might have been yesterday or the last stream, so I don't think you saw that. And then there was this whole thing about this like demonic like punk gothic rock group, and there's basically all they're like an underground like rock band or whatever, and all their lyrics sort of have hints towards the murders in them in the lyrics, but the lyrics were written like way before the murders took place. So we went to like a gig, and we saw this girl who's got like short silver hair, and her name is Fez, like Fes, and she's got like this weird demon sword too, but it's like in the form of a mic stand. So yeah, we were trying to do some like intel there. This is really fucking hard to explain. So yeah, basically we're in a bad delusion right now, and we're on the phone to our mate. Taku, did Daichin pick up? The demon girl once again peered at my face. Shit, she was way too close. I turned my back to her and spoke into the receiver. Oh, and most importantly, we got a new figure, which is right here. It's Nishijo. What? It's Taku. You would read me? Why had he responded so nonchalantly? Him acting so natural made it sound like he was being, like, it sounded like me being with a demon girl was an everyday occurrence or something. She dragging you along again, man. You really got it bad. But I've got a piece of advice for you. Go and buy your own damn phone already. Hey, I have my phone, asshole. Is it Fez? No, just like Fez. So if she performs... Oh, Fez. Yeah, I guess so. Was the person on the other end really Misumi-kun? For example, there was the possibility that Demon Girl had made a phone call to someone who only sounded like Misumi-kun. Maybe this person who sounded like Misumi-kun was just another underling of hers, and he was only pretending to be Misumi-kun in order to trick me. I was starting to doubt anything and everything. I didn't know what was true and what was a lie. Hold on, what the hell kind of trap was the Demon Girl trying to make me fall into anyways? Why bother with a trap this elaborate? In a situation like this, wouldn't it be easy and quicker for her to just go ahead and kill me already? Or was there some reason behind it, and some kind of prerequisite saying she had to trick me even if it meant taking it this slow? No, maybe it was some hidden camera type thing spearheaded by Misumi-kun. The girl wasn't actually my classmate, but Misumi-kun's girlfriend, and he'd sent her in order to screw with me. That's fucking if. If that were the case, how the hell would I explain everything that had happened at the crucifixion crime scene? How you feeling, by the way? You said you weren't feeling too good yesterday. You feeling any better today, dude? So, what's up, Taku? Though, to be honest, I can't say I'm all that happy about getting a call from a dude. Haha. His tone of voice sounded exactly like Misumi-kun's. The more I heard, the more I was convinced that I was that person on the other end. The more convinced I was that the person on the other end had to be him. You looking for advice on how to seduce chicks or something? Fuck me, I'm fucking up my words a lot. As if you'd ever call me up about that. Should I start talking? I sent her the gaze on my back, the girl staring at me. The chills on the back of my neck still hadn't gone away. What kind of expression was the demon girl making? I wanted to turn around and see for myself, but I was too scared. Okay, seriously, what is it? I'm with a girl right now, so make it quick. You what? Hurry up and spit it out. Hour? class. Yeah, what about our class? In it. What's in it? A girl. A girl. This is so fucking hard to get back and forth. Who? Sagiata is her name. Despite steadily becoming more and more incoherent, I somehow managed to explain myself. Suddenly, Misukin stopped responding. Silence. However, I could still hear the noise of the city around him, so the call hadn't disconnected or anything. Why wasn't he talking? Next thing I heard was an extremely exaggerated sigh. Look, you sure you haven't got gamer brain or whatever? What? Where'd that come from? And not only was it completely out of left field, but he'd brought up that bullshit condition that had been coined despite having no scientific backing whatsoever. You're talking about Rimi, yeah? You're calling right from her phone, so I don't understand where all this dumbass shit's coming from. Oh, I get it now. Rimi put you up to this, didn't she? This is a prank. You two try to pull a fast one on me. Alright then, give Rimi a message from me. Tell her I'm not stupid enough to fall for your garbage pranks. Is she really... Is she really what? Is she really our classmate? Dude. Look, I get that you barely come to school, but do you seriously forget? Are you really that far gone? Forget me, you've been in the same class with her since first year of high school, if I remember right. I mean, come on, the three of us saw a movie together pretty recently. Monka Giga. Couldn't comprehend what the person that sounded like Misumikin was saying. He had said that the demon girl and I had been in the same class since first year, and that the three of us had seen a movie together pretty recently. Pretty recently, but when exactly? We wouldn't have become pals if it weren't for Rimi. I was hanging out with her when we met. After all, she and I mesh real well together, you know, with how whimsical we both are. This world's pretty huge, but even then, Rimi and I are just about the ones who'd bother talking to a neat like you. Whoops, that might have been a bit harsh. The words I heard on the other end of the call, not a single one of them felt real to me. I had absolutely no memory of any of it. I couldn't acknowledge that any of that had happened in the past. I just couldn't. It was all some story that the person who sounded like Misumikan had made up. It couldn't be my past. The past could only be established as truth if the person remembered it. So if I didn't remember it, it wasn't true. Well, while we're at it, I've been kind of mean to say that Ruby doesn't really act much of a girl at all, does she? She kind of throws me off, but don't tell her I said that. Who are you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you seriously lost it? If you've forgotten even me too, then you really have been playing too many Unable to take it anymore, I hang up the phone. My breathing had been growing extremely heavy without me noticing. The sweat that had been beading on my forehead showed no signs of stopping. In fact, it was increasing. Long trails of sweat trickled down my entire body, starting from my face and ending at my feet. Dude, do I still have the fucking thing? Oh, he's still got it. I just need to change the name. What's this guy's fucking name? I don't remember. Taku, you're covered in sweat. The demon girl, looking worried about me, calmly offered me a handkerchief, a cute, patternless vermilion handkerchief. There was a faint fluorescence to it. Instead of taking it, I attempted to somehow maintain my composure and organize my thoughts about everything that was happening. But in the end, it didn't go too well. I was doubting anything and everything, causing all my thoughts to rapidly churn together into a chaotic whirlpool. Sighing in minor disappointment, the demon girl put away her handkerchief, and then, with a triumphant look on her face, she asked me a question. So, what did Daijin say? She was acting like she already knew the answer. I couldn't afford to answer her. What was she? An ordinary classmate of mine? Or a monster? I had no idea. Maybe I was the crazy one. Taking the chat with Shogun into consideration, I couldn't rule out the possibility that someone other than myself was controlling my body. Or maybe all my memories of the demon girl, or the girl named Sakihito Rimi, had somehow got knocked right out of me due to some freak accident or something. At this point, I didn't know anything about myself for sure. Real chaos head. Did I have amnesia? Did I sleepwalk? Or could it be something else entirely? Are you okay? If you're not feeling good, you could try laying down on the sofa. The demon girl spoke to me kindly. Don't you let your guard down. Anyone who acts nice to an attacker freak like me just must have some kind of ulterior motive. I shook my head, putting my strong will to resist against the demon girl on full display. Then, using that same strength, I raised my head. Sweat got into my eyes, blurring my vision. The demon girl's face was a lot closer than I expected it to be. What colour eyes were those? Why? Why what? Why are you here? Why? Because I came to see you, duh. Are you mad that I came in without asking? This delusion's gone on for fucking ages, by the way. This is like a half an hour delusion. Then again, that's totally your fault for not answering. I was knocking for a really long time, you know. I thrusted the cell phone she'd given back at her. She'd given me back at her. As I watched the demon girl timidly take it, I asked her once again, why? What is it this time? Are you here? What was her reason for coming here? If she'd actually come to kill me, she would have done it a long time ago, so why wasn't she doing anything? Oh, you want to know why I'm here? Just a sec. The demon girl reached into her bag and pulled out a single sheet of paper. This is why. I brought you the worksheet against asking about what you want to be when you graduate and stuff. So here, post-graduation aspirations. I found myself taking it from her without really thinking. She wasn't lying. The piece of paper did have post-graduation aspirations written on it, along with three blank spaces to write your answers in. What was it? Or was that really all she come here for? Go home. I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want anything to do with 3D girls. This is a trap. Don't listen to her. This isn't reality. This is a game, one filled with bugs. There are way too many contradictions. It doesn't hold together as a proper story. That's kind of ironic. I want it to be funny if, like... Because I guess it wasn't bugs. It was just, like, shitty translation. But it would be kind of funny if, like, bugs were intended in this game. I guess that would be, like... Doki Doki. No, I guess that would be intentional bugs, right? Stay away from me. If you don't intend to kill me, then just leave me alone. I am me. Some me that isn't me may be friends with Sakihata Rimi, but that has nothing to do with the current me. Cradling in my head, I closed myself off completely. I kept trembling and trembling, envisioning that the girl known as I keep want to say Sakihata Rimi wasn't there anymore. Not long after, I heard the sound of the door opening, telling me that the demon girl had left. You whenever an angel more outfit. Did Reddit the girl known as Bucky? So oh god. So sometimes when I host one of the Australian streamer friends, he has a thing where whenever he gives a shout out, which he does like all the time when I host or raid or whatever, or even if I'm in chat, he'll do a shout out, and it will come up with a random clip from my channel. And the clips are so fucking old, dude. Like, because basically like, nobody makes clips anymore, and they're all from like the first couple years of streaming. And occasionally it's like one of my OC clips or whatever. But there was one that was like my first ever stream, which was let's say Chaos Head, Corpse Party. There was one of those that popped up the other day, and one of them was like one of the Persona ones when I was like creaming my pants over the t-shirt. And then another one was like the Higurashi one where I'm like squealing at you know, just squealing at one of the fucking stupid ass things, and it comes up on stream and stuff, and it's like, oh god. It's like such a bad representation of my stream. But I guess it's not because I'm back at it. But it was so fucking funny. In the midst of a pitch black room, the pale light of the PC monitor cut through the darkness. Pictured on the screen was a Sarah screensaver from Bloodtoon the animation. While there had been a girl by the name of Sakihata Rimi present in the container half a day prior, the only figure that remained was the container's owner, Nishijo Takumi. It was already 5 in the morning. Okay, so this is kind of weird, right? So he's acting as if that actually happened despite it being a delusion, but there was a thing just before it, or like 2 scenes before it, where we were in school. We were talking to Fez, which is the lead singer of that group, just in school, and our friend, whatever his name is, Takim. No, that's me. No, whatever his bloody name is, the Playboy guy. He was like talking non-stop to her. They're like, oh hey, do you want to talk about me about the band, and you know, why don't we go somewhere and we have a chat and stuff. And he was talking non-stop. I mean, I had a bad delusion, and she just fucking got the sword thing and just chopped his hand clean off. And then, like, you know, a minute later, he's like, yeah, but that didn't actually happen. So this is kind of interesting because he actually thinks that happened. So, yeah. You know the guy? Yeah, it was him. Yeah. I guess I raided him when you were in chat once. Yeah, him. Basically, that sounded kind of sus. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think he played like 2 because I went down to get my food or something, and I came back and I heard my clip. I heard it was the "Embraced by the Flame" thing because obviously I'm familiar with that clip and I remember what. Oh no, it wasn't "Embraced by the Flame." It was Dopamine. It was the end of Dopamine. I was like screaming like, "Oh my god, I assessed it" or whatever. And but I didn't see it on the screen, and I heard it. I'm like, "What the fuck are you like watching my clips or something?" It's like, "Oh yeah, it was a shout out," and I didn't understand until I saw it again. I'm like, "Oh, it actually comes up like on screen." Yeah, he did it twice. Yeah, he did it by accident, didn't he? And I didn't know what the hell he was on about. Yeah. It was already 5 in the morning. In Takumi's daily life, he would play online games until dawn and then collapse onto the sofa once he could not keep his eyes awake any longer. Even now, Takumi was asleep on the couch, twisting in a seemingly uncomfortable position. Why is he doing a third-person thing? He never used his bed for sleep. He did indeed have a proper bed, but it was already occupied with manga, CDs, and other random piled-up media like porn. He could never be bothered to tidy it up, so his bed had effectively been repurposed into a storeroom. Ever since then, he had utilized his 2-person sofa as his one and only place to sleep. A pain moan escaped from Takumi's lips. Perhaps he was having a nightmare. His entire body was perspiring. Perspiring? What the fuck is that word? And he closed his eyelids, twitched and trembled. His expression was warped in agony, and he was tossing and turning so frequently he came very close to falling off the couch. Right before he did, however, his eyes suddenly and inexplicably... Dude, this is like a third-person thing. This is kind of weird. Inexplicably shot open as he faced the ceiling. They were bloodshot, and his eyeballs were faintly convulsing. Still in that state, without blinking even a single time, he rose from the sofa. He slowly staggered towards the PC. Without sitting down... Oh, wait. This is explaining his, like, other self, right? That he doesn't remember. Oh, shit. Is this actually real? Without sitting down, he moved the mouse as he stood before the desk. The screensaver disappeared, and his desktop showed itself. The pale light on the monitor shone on Takumi's face, illuminating his horrifyingly vacant expression. His body swayed back and forth, and his mouth hung slightly ajar. Jewels seeped down his chin. His current state was a textbook example of sleepwalking. The delirious boy launched the web browser and opened Ad channel. His movement itself was languid and slow, but he showed no hesitation in selecting a thread from the board related to New Gen. The board listed a total number of 60 threads, and Takumi slowly opened each one of them one by one, and then with his eyes remaining glued to the monitor, he began to type. He repeated this action for each and every thread. His posts were not particularly long, only counting a few characters each, but they were all composed of the exact same sentence. Whose eyes are those eyes? By Shogun. So he is Shogun. Huh. Interesting. So I guess, even though that was a delusion, I guess he does know Rimi, but he only knows it as like his other self. If that is... It's gonna be one of the things like, what the fuck is real? It's like the unreliable narrator, right? I went to the hospital first thing tomorrow morning. They hadn't confirmed it the last time I come here, but today they would definitely tell me I was normal. Dr. Takashina would remember me. I'd tell him, "It's me, Nishijo, and I was your patient until around 4 years ago," and then he'd tell me everything I needed to hear. I wasn't the crazy one. It was the demon girl and Misumika. They were the crazy ones. That was definitely what he was going to say. This hospital opened at 8 in the morning, which was a little earlier than regular hospitals. That was the reason why I'd show up right when it opened, and yet the seats in this lobby were already filled with countless middle-aged people or older. What the hell? Why? The hospital just opened, so why were there so many people here? Don't you bastards know when no head starts are unfair? Come on time like you're supposed to, assholes. As I continued and stopped them inside my head, I had no choice but to wait. About an hour passed before I really started to regret not having made an appointment. But right after I started thinking that, they called my name and I immediately I was immediately relieved to know that I wouldn't have to wait as long as last week. Except that the one waiting for me in the examination room wasn't Dr. Takashina, but some white-haired old man that I'd never seen before. Where's Dr. Takashina? Noticing my confusion, the nurse standing right behind him, I think his name was Hazuki-san, gave an apologetic look. I'm afraid Dr. Takashina is no longer here. What? Rather, to be specific, he collapsed from fatigue last weekend. He's taken the week off to rest. What? This couldn't be happening. My one and only ally. Wait, had he really collapsed from fatigue? It's a conspiracy orchestrated by the demon girl. Nishijo-san. You're not making it any better for yourself. This is cute, yeah. She had to have poisoned his food, or sent him a death threat to scare him into submission, or done some other horrible act to psychologically break him. This had to be a work of the demon girl. She was trying to isolate me from my allies, so I'd be defenseless against her assault. Dude, this is like Okabe's like fucking. It's done. They can hear us. All this shit. They're on to us. Apart from that was sort of, bro. There was no way in hell I was going to let anyone other than Dr. Takashina examine me, so instead of getting a checkup, I ran away from the hospital. Don't know about that one, dude. Oh, what a lovely day. Damn it. Leaning on the fence at the edge of the roof, I blankly stared up at the sky. The skies of Shibuya were dim and lifeless. You'd have to be crazy to call them clear. I shouldn't go to the hospital anymore. The demon girl's net was tightening around me. Maybe I had nowhere left to run. Maybe the detectives I met yesterday were imposters. Maybe in reality they had been the demon girl's underlings all along, and they'd just been testing me. That had to be it. The timing had just been way too perfect. The demon girl had broken into my room right after I talked to them. For fuck's sake. She was a demon after all. She wasn't human. Controlling and manipulating the human mind would be child's play for her. I had no evidence of that, though. But at the same time, I had no evidence proving she wasn't a demon. Which meant the only way to stay alive was just to assume the worst case scenario. Did I really have anybody on my side? It felt like everyone was against me, no matter where I looked, no matter who it was. All I see was yet another one of the demon girl's underlings. Save me. Somebody save me. Why didn't I have a single ally? Why wouldn't anyone come save me? Why did I only have to suffer so much? I felt more hopeless than ever. I just wanted something to support me, someone who would protect me, something that would protect me. I didn't care for who or what it was, just someone, something. Please grant me salvation. Owen's going to team up with the yeah, either Fez or the other sword girl. Then again, just as suddenly, Fez's Kishimoto Ayase's face appeared in my mind. I remembered what she said to me when we met at school. I'd been lost in my own delusions at the time, but Misumi can tell me what she had said. Find the sword. If you do, you'll be granted salvation. A sword. If this was a game, I'd be the protagonist, and there'd be a cliche story moment where I'd obtain the legendary sword and triumph over evil. At this point, I'd had the word sword from 2 different 3D girls recently, and extremely close proximity at that. There would still remain the possibility that Fez was on my side. Girl B, however, I think her name was Sana, had a pretty high chance of being one of the demon girl's underlings, judging by her attitude. A sword. A sword. If I can get a sword, then I'll be... I started talking to myself like I'd lost my mind. I was grasping at straws at this point. If I could just get my hands on a sword, I might be freed from this nightmare. I can't help but hope for that. It wasn't that I believe what Fez said about it granting me salvation. I just had nothing else to cling to. At the very least, I should do some research. It'd be cool if he came back to his room one time and it was just covered in blood and there was like a guy dead in his chair or something. But it was like him, and he was actually somebody else. Yeah, you never know. I probably tried searching for it online. I started off by checking to see if the swords, Fez and Senna were carrying appeared in any anime, but I couldn't find anything, at least from the seasonals. I'd expected as much. I always checked out the newest anime after all. I am a professional weeb. Considering there was uploads of 30 to 40 of them in one season, it'd really pile up on me if I tried to watch them all, so I just watched the first couple episodes and figured out which ones figured out which ones to keep following from there. Excuse me, it's called the 3-episode rule for a reason. 1 to 2. What is this bullshit? Naturally, since Mewtwo existed, Mewtube, not Mewtwo. I had no trouble completing my line up from channels such as BS and CS. What? So there was no way I'd overlooked any anime. And those swords weren't in any of the shows I checked out. The swords both had extremely distinctive shapes, so if they showed up, I definitely would have remembered them. Although if someone other than myself had been controlling me when I saw it, then there was nothing I could do about it. Next, I tried searching for the swords themselves rather than anime. They might have appeared. Damn it! That almost all video game walkthrough sites terms I knew well, such as Iso's Shangri-La Edge, kept popping up. I was making no progress. For fuck's sake, I was supposed to be able to find it quickly. I had a feeling that Senna had used a more concrete name for it, but what had it been? Remember, the nightmare won't end unless you remember. Answer me. You see it, don't you? Yeah, this is Senna. The die sword. What do you mean you only... Wait, have you not seen it? I think I keep referencing it. Did we watch it together? Or you... Have you not fucking seen Steins Gate? What the fuck? Are you serious? Are you trolling me right now? I swear you've seen it. Bruh! Bruh! How many fucking things have I recommended to you without reloading? Bruh. Bruh. You are crazy. What? Dude, just... Let it cook. Let it cook. Yeah, sort of, but not really. Just let it cook. If not, I will fucking play it after this. And I will play it all, and you will watch every second of it. Make your choice, because it's either like 40 hours or it's like 9 hours. I mean, yeah, it's like, I'd say the visual novel is like ever so slightly better, like slightly, but the pacing and the just how well, yeah, it's just sort of like the pacing, like it's only like what, like 9-10 hours for 25 episodes. It achieves almost everything that you want in the visual novel, but it's like way shorter. Like obviously visual novel is like a little bit more in depth, especially about the time travel science. There's like, instead of like, I think in anime it's like a 2-minute little thing, and in the visual novel it's like an hour and a half of just describing like time travel theories. It's like fascinating, but it's like there is a few parts that maybe are the pacing's a little slow or whatever, but no, dude, I promise you will not regret it. I recommend it above like everything ever. Dice sword, that was it. She called it a dice sword. I quickly typed it in and ran a search. I hope you weren't paying attention to the fucking things that I almost spoiled there. I got hits. Only 2 of them, though. Even so, I was already starting to think of the 2 links as my road to salvation. Holding back my excitement, I clicked on the top one first. Oh, shit, the page was down. Damn it. What the hell? Okay, calm down. Go back and look at the cache. D-sword. D-sword. Oh, okay, it's a D-sword, not a dice sword. The page had an illustration on it. Must have been a recreation based on how the sword was described in various books. So gibberish to me. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. It's from a legend. The Legend of Zelda, but compared to the one that Senegal had, it's really plain. Why did it have to be such a niche sword to begin with? I mean, why couldn't it have been a sword like Excalibur or Kusanagi? You know, swords that were actually a big deal. Yeah, Kusanagi. All right, guys, I love that sword. No, this wasn't the time to piss and moan. Niche or mainstream, I didn't care as long as it could save me. I decided to research it a little bit more. Continue, and I clicked the second link. The words "I bought a D-sword" caught my eye specifically. Were D-swords something you could buy? Though I will watch it along with you if you want. I haven't watched it for like a year. I probably watched it like 10 times at this point. I think I rewatched it like a year and a half ago or something. If the offer is there, but no pressure. But you need to watch it at some point. If you're like busy at the moment or whatever, then that's fine. But before you die of old age, please watch it. The blog owner seems to be a male, so I could deduce that it couldn't be the demon girl or Senna. And the energy shown in the writing was way too differently from Shogun's. Alright, let's read this. I bought a sword today. It's called a D-sword, I think. Seriously, I can't get enough of all this shady stuff I've been picking up. Town Vanguard is an oasis for my soul, man. The only place in the entire Tokyo metropolitan area that's got that shady vibe TV has are in Akiba. Even then, though, Akiba's stores don't really scratch that itch for me, you know? All they've really got is computers or porn and stuff like that. I can't say the same for TV, though. There used to be all sorts of shady shops in Shibuya. Really shows my age, but they've been washed away along with the flow of time. Man, those were the days, lol. What's amazing to me though is that if you didn't know any better, TV totally looks like a store for noobs, lol. And the energy shown in rating was way too different from Shogun's. Was he completely an unrelated third party, or could he have deliberately changed his writer style? What the fuck? I knew that no answer would come to me no matter how much I thought about it, so I gave up and stopped looking at the blog. More importantly, it seemed like the store he'd mentioned, the Town Vanguard, was located in Shibuya. I had the feeling that it was too good to be true, but I also had the feeling that it was predestined too. Looking at it from another angle, maybe the exact reason I'd run into a girl holding a D-sword in the middle of Shibuya twice was because of the store located there. Well, that's enough yearning for the good old days. I'm still wondering, though, who the hell named a thing a D-sword? Lol. It's this pretty huge toy, and it's got this real oomph to it. Yeah, but even then, I'll bet money on the fact that the only reason it's at the store at all is because of the clerk, Yo-chan's interests. I mean, they recently put up a fantasy weapon section. There was a bunch of stuff like lightsaber and a light shuriken, but they were obviously fake. I was pretty disappointed, to be honest. Anyways, I went ahead and ran a search for Town Vanguard. It didn't seem to have an official site, but I did find a preview image of it on an online map. If they didn't have an official site, that probably meant they didn't take online orders. I tried searching for them as a seller on taboo auctions, but I didn't find any, which meant that I would have to go into the store in person. I really didn't want to go outside, but to get a sword, I have no other choice. I had now come to think of the sword as my sole and only means of opposing the demon girl. I didn't have any idea what I would actually do after I got it, though. I certainly wasn't brave enough to kill her after it, not even close. Even so, I had hoped that if I got my hands on a sword, I would be released somewhat from the terror that was tormenting me. Imagine he just went into his class, he sees the pink-haired girl, and he just, like, assassinates her, and just fucking cuts her head off with it, but it's all in his head, and she's not actually a murderer. That'd be fun. The D-sword would be my protective charm, something I could depend on. There was something strangely alluring about that sword. I should probably put my food on soon. Deludo, yeah. I love the silly things they get around the copyright thing. God has something. It seems like this store was located somewhere near Cat Street. Cat Street was a long winding road next to Meiji-dori that ran from Shibuya to Harajuku. Apparently, it had been built on top of an old stream that had been reclaimed a while back. There was a bunch of reasons as to why people were calling it Cat Street, such as it being frequently by feral cats, or that it was so narrow that only cats could use it, but it wasn't like it made a difference to me either way. Cat Street was pretty far away from my base. It took about 15 or 20 minutes to get on foot. It'd be much faster by bike, but unfortunately, I didn't have one. I decided to take a route that went past the front of the train station, then through Shoto via cutting through Miyashita Park. Quickening my pace a bit, I crossed the overpass that went over Meiji-dori. Ooh, I finally arrived. I was starting to get really impatient. The sheer distance was pissing me off. Cat Street was nice and quiet compared to Sintogai, and it felt much more like Harajuku than Shibuya. Dude, I love these Japanese references. I mean, I'm understanding exactly what he's saying. The stores lining the streets were only aimed at trend chasers I wanted nothing to do with. Fuck them, to be honest. Knowing how out of place I was just made me feel even more pissed off. It was completely foreign territory. Every last one of the assholes around me thought they were so damn cool. There were even more couples sauntering around them in the shopping district. Whatever. They were probably just a bunch of broke shitheads trying to pretend they had money, so they were likely just window shopping. Lamar, waste of space. Dude, he's like swearing so much in these last few sentences. He's like proper triggered. I feel like the author wrote this like after he had a particularly bad day, and he's like, "Fuck these fucking guys." I was starting to regret coming here after all, but I reminded myself that all the suffering would be worth it once I got a sword, so I just sucked it up and kept walking. In order to avoid making eye contact with anyone, I kept my eyes firmly trained on my map as I speed walked towards my destination. Town Vanguard was deep into a narrow side road that split off on Cat Street. Is this it? Even though I'd only gone one side straight away from the main road, the atmosphere had changed dramatically. It was a narrow, cramped, filthy alley that no car could. Jesus Christ. It was a narrow, cramped, filthy alley that no car could travel through. The street was lined with wooden houses, out-of-business stores with closed shutters, and the inevitable spray-painted graffiti that covered such shutters. Despite how nice it looked from the outside, with all its high-class name-brand stores, Cat Street 2 was nothing more than a superficial facade. And behind that facade, weird that it got the little hook thing, facade lied a whole host of broken down, mercilessly discarded junk heaps. Then again, I couldn't stand the place either way. Both the bullshit and the truth were foreign territory for me. The only home for me was Iso. Even for the back streets, though, Town Vanguard had an even smaller, darker atmosphere than I was expecting. I was finally starting to get why the blogger had called it shady. Even though an open sign was hanging on the door, it didn't exactly look like business was booming, and that was being generous. Thanks to that, it was extremely hard to convince me to go in. How was I? A guy who couldn't even go into a Gujin shop by himself, supposed to enter a sketchy ass store like this. Right, what's this? Gujin shop. Seasoned beef, or is it like a ramen place? Yeah, it's just sort of a restaurant. Just looks like a ramen place. I wanted to go home. No, I need to get my hand on a sword, no matter what. Ugh, what should I do? Dun, 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 dun. I spent a little while trying and failing to get myself to go in. Not a single person came through the cramped alley. I'd already spent 30 minutes waffling over what to do, but I still haven't seen a single soul since I'd gone off the road. All that happened was I would finally decide to suck it up and go in, but then I would realize I wasn't brave enough. Repeat ad nauseum. But I couldn't go home empty-handed. This was the only place I could get my hands on a D-sword. Even though my sense of reason told me that, my instincts made me hesitate to enter the shop. In my mind, I had a delusion where the clerk came out to me. Of course, she was a cute maid, and she talked to me with a voice straight out of an anime. She knew exactly what I wanted, and she held a D-sword out to me, friendly as could be. Here you are, please take this sword, master. Okay, that's enough. Chill out, me. Just as I was thinking about how much nicer it would be if things turned out that way, a loomed 3D girl appeared from within the store, almost like she had somehow heard my thoughts. However, unlike with Illusion, she was wearing disgusting gaudy clothes, the type that made me think, what Indian tribe did she steal those from? Blah. But at the same time, despite the get-up, she looked absolutely miserable. Talk about whiplash. Blah. Her hair was incredibly frizzy, to the point where it looked like her head had exploded, and creepy patterns were scrawled on the bandana she had twisted around it. She said that she was a store worker and had come out after seeing me pacing outside. My delusions hadn't exactly become reality, but it wasn't like I hadn't expected that. Before I knew what was happening, the clerk forcibly showed me inside, despite how reluctant I was to do so. I didn't even have the chance to turn her down. That's like voodoo magic. Okay, there was actually like some like Native American stuff here. The music's kind of creepy, bro. I don't like the clown. That's creepy. He's this old fat kid. In the end, I found myself inside the store. It was all well and good that I cleared the most difficult obstacle, but if this store was under the demon girl's control and everything about the D-Store was just an elaborate trap to lure me in, I wouldn't be allowed to complain if I got killed right here. My eyes darted around the store's dim interior. There wasn't a single customer. The air was awfully stagnant and slightly hazy. The unpleasant odor of tobacco and mold mixed together and invaded my nostrils. I felt like I was going to be sick if I stayed here for any more than 5 minutes. I'm gonna have to go. Need to do something about it. Alright, dude. I probably will be streaming for too much longer. I need to get my food on. I'll probably be doing like 45 more minutes or so. I can let you know in Discord if you missed anything, if anything interesting happens. Though I saw things that looked like products, it was difficult to judge whether or not they were actually for sale. All of them had been placed haphazardly, and there was no way to distinguish them from just plain old garbage. And it didn't help that not a single one of them had a price tag. I didn't notice it until after I come in, but there was a whole lot of porn and sex toys. Among them were devices you've seen in rape, humiliation type eroge, and I had no idea where to find a safe place to look. Jesus Christ. Alright, see you around, dude. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for chatting and hanging out and watching. I appreciate it, man. See you next time. This store must have been a variety shop for adults or something. After forcing me into the store, the clerk sat down on a stool behind the counter, then proceeded to zone out as she smoked. She showed no indication that she was going to continue meddling with me. She was probably a partial source of the haze in here. Even though it had been less than a whole minute since I come in, anxiety, a weird sense of pressure, and the embarrassment all combined with how sick I was feeling in the form of a disgusting sweat sweeping out my forehead. I wanted to get out of this otherworldly place as soon as possible. I had to hurry and find a D-sword quick. I walked towards the back and I looked throughout the store. I soon found that fantasy weapon sections, which had been mentioned in the blog I'd found. This corner of the store was the only one that stood out to me. The numerous pole-shaped toys were neatly displayed. All of the toys were tubes of some sort. They were different colours, but pretty much all of them were lightsabers. You could probably tell easily from how shoddy they were. They were all bootleg. I doubt that they would even glow. It seemed like the light show I couldn't talk about in the blog was sold out, which surprised me. Yet mixed in with the lightsabers was a single item that was clearly different from the rest. It only took one look for me to know it was a D-sword. It looked almost exactly like the illustration I'd seen online. I went to pick it up. It was unexpectedly light. I wondered what it was made out of. It was definitely some sort of vinyl. It wasn't sharp at all. The edges were slippery, and naturally, it didn't hurt me in the slightest when I ran my fingers across it. Compared to the one Senna and Fez had, it was badly designed and had no sense of weight, and above all, it didn't give me the sense that this sword would sever anything with just the slightest touch. Could it be a fake? That worried me, but there wasn't anything in the store that resembled a D-sword. Would this even give off light at all? The D-sword Fez swung around at her had pieces of glass embedded in it, which gave a blue light and looked extremely badass. But I didn't see a single shard of glass on the sword I was holding. Maybe I shouldn't buy it. The D-sword was so shoddily made that I couldn't help but come to that conclusion, despite how long it had taken me to get here. But dude, just fucking buy it. Like, how much is it? How much could it possibly be? Find a sword. If you do, you'll be granted salvation. I remember Fez's words. Right, if I didn't buy it right here and now, I'd lose my only chance of getting my hands on a D-sword. Maybe it only looked cheap, but once it recognized me as its true master, an incredible power would manifest within it. Or maybe I'd seen too much anime, or read too many manga. But I had sensed that exact kind of unknown power in Senna and Fez's sword, so this sword should have it too, but... what to do? While my internal debate ragged on, the clerk came up to me and stood right behind me without me noticing. With a melancholic smirk, she pointed out the D-sword and muttered, 10,000 yuan, and I'll throw in a free bonus. Wink. How absurdly cheap it was made me doubt my own ears at first. I had amassed quite a bit of cash from RMT, and if it was only 10,000 yen, I could buy it simply by sacrificing a single figure. When I'd heard the price, and when I'd realized that it was the last one they had left, I'd come to an immediate decision. The bonus that it come with, it was a cheap-looking banger, and to be frank, I didn't want it in the slightest. Dude, free shit, let's go. Right, I'm gonna put my foot on real quick, or I can put it up. Everything after that was hell. Town Vanguard didn't do delivery, so my only option was to lug it home myself. I thought you said it was light, bro. Toy or not, my excitement died instantly when I realized I'd have to carry the stupidly long sword right through the heart of Shibuya. Oh, okay, fair enough. But I already paid for it, and the clerk adamantly refused to let me return it. Adamantly is such a weird word. This was a really intense form of humiliation roleplay. I went to hold a huge toy like this down a fancy street. Just as I come to expect, the Dokin couples, dolled up grills, and whatever other manner of sheep that passed me by all had that exact mocking smile as, damn it, every last one of you should just kill yourself. I focused intently on keeping my head down for the rest of the way home, having delusions all the way about swinging my newly bought diesel at the innocent people in the middle of the road, viciously slaughtering piles and piles of them. Ooh, edgy. Finally made it back. I started running when I was about halfway home, and I didn't stop until I got there, so I was grasping for air by the time I reached my base. The ice-cold stares of the pedestrians were killing me. It was somewhat impressive that Senna was able to endure this kind of embarrassment all the time. In a way, I even respected her for it. I could never do what she did. Suddenly, a sound came from a blind spot in the shadow of my base. Was someone there? Freezing in my tracks, I gulped. It was the gaze again. The pure white smile of the demon girl who called herself Rimi appeared in my mind. Maybe she'd come back. Maybe this is the time she come to kill me for real. Or what shall I do? Should I run? I sensed the presence. The light of the sunset etched someone's shadow onto the ground, one that I knew, without shadow of a doubt, had to be female. I'm gonna say it's a sister. I merely readied my D-sword. When I actually tried holding it like that, though, it felt even less reliable than I expected it to. Senna's sword had felt incredibly intimidating, and it had a sense of overwhelming pressure that wouldn't allow anyone to get near it. But the D-sword I was holding didn't feel like that at all. Maybe it really was a fake. Could I really fight with something like this? There's no way. Even if I had a real one, I still couldn't do it. Not only that, but I hadn't realized how heavy it was until I first started holding it just now. Maybe I was holding it wrong. Sheep sure to have background checks. What? In any case, it would be impossible to even swing it like this. The shadow suddenly wavered. It was approaching me. Stay back! I shut my eyes tight and haphazardly swung the sword in front of me. I knew I wouldn't be able to defeat the enemy this way. Even so, I had the faint hope that as long as I had the sword, it'd somehow do something anyway. But I didn't feel it hit anything, nor did my enemy make a sound. I couldn't believe it. Could that single strike of mine have utterly annihilated the demon girl? If so, that'd be the best shit that ever happened to. Told you. What's up with the sword, big bro? Only Jack. Oh, what? Yeah. This bitch back. When I opened my eyes, the one standing there wasn't a demon girl, but rather Nanami, another demon girl. She was looking at me with unmistakably judgmental eyes. Oh, what? All my strength disappeared instantly. I dropped to the ground right where I've been standing. Don't scare me like that. She was the worst little sister ever. Didn't she know how shitty it was to scare her older brother like this, let alone enjoy it? Who the hell did she think she was? This was exactly why 3D would always pale in comparison to 2D. I wasn't trying to scare you. I just came over for your routine survival check like I usually do, but you weren't here. Why did you make me wait here for 30 minutes? Do you realize how worried I was about you? You made me precious free term disappear into the thin air, you know? Jerk. Alright, this bitch was worried about me? As if I would ever thought was such an obvious lie. So, where'd you run off to? You don't go outside all that often, and you didn't pick up when I called either. I left my phone behind at the base. It wasn't like anyone was going to call me while I was outside. I had no point in bringing it, apart from the one person who actually called you. Also, what's with the sword? Did you just come back from buying it? Nanami peered curiously at the sword. Oh, I've got it now. It's some anime toy, right? Man, you really are a total nerd. But if I'm honest, this toy doesn't fit you at all. Just a second ago, you had your shoulders all squared as you held it up. I'm gonna crack up just thinking about it. You know what, Nanami? I undid the lock on the door to the container house and made it to go inside. Oh, wait, don't ignore me. Go home. If she'd just come to check if I was alive, then she should have got what she wanted, and she had no longer reason to be here. If she was always making fun of me, and every time she came over, she would do nothing but complain. If she was really that put off by my being here, then she didn't have to come at all. It was annoying anyway, so it'd be no skin off my back if she stopped. Hey, I came all the way out to check on you, so you could at least be a little grateful. I even bought a present for you and everything. Her voice was whiny as it could be, and she pursed her lips. A present? Yeah, Mum told me to bring it. Here. Nanami handed me a bag of clementines. There was about 10 of them, wrapped up in a red netting. Weird. Something's fishy here. I'd eat clementines if they were right in front of me, but they weren't my favourite food or anything. On that note, I could use a quick break, so how about I sit down and eat some with you? Go home. What the heck? I bought you a present and I'm offering to eat it with you. Aren't you happy? Because you should be. What exactly about eating clementines with Nanami was supposed to make me feel happy at all? And besides, it was obvious that she had wanted to eat clementines, and that was the whole reason she come here. He'd been a fat ass ever since we were little, often stealing my portion to add to hers. I couldn't count the amount of times we fought over that. Nanami, unable to take a hint, waltzed right into my base. I gave up and followed in after her. You have any tea? I'd like something nice and warm. Why the hell would I have tea? I only drink cola and nothing else. Nanami sat down on the sofa and grabbed a clementine. Sighing, I sat down the D-sword and I'd lean against my computer desk. I had no reason to continue carrying the bag in my pocket, so I just chucked it in somewhere behind me. Huh? What's that? Quickly swatting the bag I thrown on the floor, and Nanami went to pick it up. No, don't touch it! You're cursed! Oh, what a cute little bangle. Did you buy this too? Crazy to think you've actually got some good taste sometimes. Cute. How? The thing was nothing more than a piece of junk you get for 500 yen at worst. I couldn't believe how bad Annie's tastes were. Ignoring her once again, I nabbed one of the clementines and sat down in front of my PC. Hey, why are you throwing this away? Because I don't want it. Okay, then I'll take it off your hands. What? What's the problem? You were going to get rid of it anyway. Wait, you could at least pretend like your brother every once in a while give your sister a present. Consider this your first step. You call it a present, but it's just something I don't want, which you suddenly decided... What? But it's just something I don't want that you suddenly decided to appropriate. Fine, just take it. Really? Yay! Literally walking PMS. What's that again? I can't fucking remember what PMS is. Premenstrual syndrome. Fucking hell. Fucking funny. Most women have PMS at some point. As soon as she got my approval, she put the bag on her wrist. It takes a real cheap whore to get this excited over such a piece of junk. So what do you think? Does it look good on me? Not even close. How so? How's that so? You jerk. Baka. It was supposed to be a present, so why was she treating me like this? Those sisters were supposed to call their brothers mean names. But what were they teaching girls nowadays? Go play 100 Erogay, that's an instant. Jerk. She was grinning from ear to ear. Meanwhile, I was getting extremely pissed off. I really like it, so I'm not going to give it back anymore. Now that I think about it, I think this is the first time I've ever gotten a present from you. Well, I have it now, so I'll take real good care of it. As if I cared. No one asked you to take care of it. I didn't even get it for you in the first place. If that's what you wanted, then go home. I don't have time for this, so stop bothering me. The moment I said that, Nanami pursed her lips. You don't have to say it all mean-like. Besides, we haven't even eaten the clementines yet, and you haven't gotten me any tea either. I don't have any goddamn tea for you to drink. Nanami glared at me intently, hands on her hips. Before long, her eyes started welling up, and then... Fine, if I'm that much of a bother, then I'll just leave. Oh, good. Make it quick. He's so base. You big jerk. Get Clementine's skin in your eyes and go blind forever. And I'm not going to give back the bangle either, jerk. Oh, thank God for that. Yelling at a migraine-induced voice that resounded throughout the entire room, Nanami grabbed her bag, ran out with insane speed. Oh, my God. It was finally over. Hanging out with Nanami always took everything out of me. Why did she insist on coming here every week when I made it very clear I was sick of it? Read the room, for fuck's sake. The fuck is this? The fuck is this? Oh. That's melt sounds tasty. The first melt has concluded with results that exceeded our expectations. There are only minor discrepancies between the GE rate increase and our initial calculations, and our ventures into a biorhythm control proceeding smoothly as well. Jesus Christ. And I had a aneurysm during that. Let me do a little quick save. What is biorhythm? A graph showing the cyclical changes in the physiological state, emotional imbalance, and intelligence of a biological organism. The term is often employed with the explanation of on days when an organism's biorhythm is high, they will be in good condition, but on days when it's low, they will be in poor condition. Okay. Jesus. Shibuya's GE rate, while it has oh god, it is much higher than those found in other areas, proves to be quite stable. Therefore, intentionally manipulating it is a simple matter, and forcing a sudden increase in the biorhythms of Shibuya's inhabitants would be equally trivial. Oh. I don't remember any of this. Please consult the report containing the results of our experiment. I believe you will find the fruits of our label to be quite acceptable. It's only natural that scum like you would produce such results. We're supplying you with a large sum of money and incredible human resource after all. I'm fully aware as to how effective it is. The church's followers have multiplied considerably over the past few months alone. And with that, Project Noah, that's the name of the game, sort of. Project Noah shall now advance into its next stage. Are we in agreement? What plan do you have in mind for its code samples? While you may have obtained the samples of 3 people, we have yet to reach our quota. Indeed, it will prove most difficult to achieve some numerical values if we do not have 5 samples at a minimum. We are currently gathering sample carriers. After such is achieved, all that remains will be extraction. Then we will leave it in your hands. May the divine light save you. Continue your proceedings with great caution. Yes, I shall do my utmost. Okay, I have no fucking idea what any of that's about. I should probably go to bed. Do the same. Diving out a yawn, I looked at the clock on my PC. It was 5 AM. Amateur hour. I'd spent another day grinding on e-save, and no monsters had ended up dropping the rare items I was looking for. I've been binging it for about 8 hours straight, but still no luck. That happened to me all the time, though. I glanced over to the side of my computer desk. The D-sword I'd bought yesterday was still leaning against it. I'd set it there within reach of me, so I could grab it at any moment. Speaking of the sword, the damn thing hadn't glowed at all. I've been hoping that it'll transform into some new badass form like the one Senna had, but it had been similarly out of luck there too. My monitor, Grimm's avatar, just leveled up. My Night Hub was already max level, so he wouldn't go any higher. Actually, I'm at max level. It's probably about time to make a new character. My third after Lisalot, I thought to myself after I rubbed my sleepy eyes. EXP sure was something. It was like a well-known concept in RPGs, but I figured EXP existed in real life too. Back when I had first started playing ESO, I'd been a total nobody who didn't know right from left, but now I was known far and wide as lightning fast Neidhart, the most powerful player in Baselard. Let's say the person controlling me had lost a chunk of my EXP for some reason or another. If that happened, then it would make complete sense why I'd forgotten things. That could also be where the discrepancies in my memory have come from. Things like Shogun and the Demon Girl. Before a chunk of my EXP got wiped, maybe it was perfectly normal for me, the person controlling me, to post in chat rooms under the handle Shogun, and for me to live like a complete normal with the Demon Girl. No, that just wasn't possible. But if it was possible, then maybe I used to possess an incredible power that would allow me to oppose the demon girl. Was I the only person who was thought like this? I didn't really feel like it was particularly a weird way of thinking. Human beings could only really make judgments based on their own sense of values that they'd come up with themselves, so maybe it wasn't just me living my day-to-day life making the wrong decisions, but everything in the entire world. Yeah, it wasn't me, it was everybody else's fault. Back when I was little, I'd gone to the dentist. I remember them telling me, "You did such a good job putting up with all that pain. You were a very good patient." At the time, I thought I was amazing for making it through to the end, and I felt really proud of myself. Thinking back on it now, the comment was probably based on the degree of pain felt compared to the progression of the cavity. But even if the level of pain was the same, there would be people that could bear the pain, and there would be people that couldn't. In other words, I came to realize that how someone recognized and felt such sensations completely depended on the person. Childbirth, for example, I've often seen on the internet that women could endure the pain of it, but it would be completely impossible for men. Another example would be marathon runners. Maybe they excelled not because of their physical strength, but because of their ability to endure pain. There was also sadist and masochists. If there were people who found pleasure in being hurt, then there would be people that derived pleasure from hurting others. In other words, I believed that the way people felt things, along with their ability to handle pain and suffering, all varied from person to person. Perhaps the level of pain and the toothaches and headaches I got from time to time actually far surpassed the limits of pain an ordinary person could take. And if that were true, then perhaps if I passed the same pain onto someone else, the sheer agony would cause them to go into shock and die. The conclusion I ended up coming to a result of this line of thinking was more or less a self-righteous delusion that perhaps I was special. All right, yeah. Let me put some. I'm gonna be probably ending like 10 minutes or something because I've only got a pizza which doesn't take long to cook. So I'll be stepping about 12, and we'll host somebody. Maybe, I don't know. Sounds tasty. Oh yeah, no wait. I read your sounds are tasty, and I thought you were on about the pizza, but you wrote that before. Fuck's sake! All right, BLB. Yeah, maybe. Oh. Right. Special. Who am I kidding? Although I denied it, I was sure that every person had delusions like this. Every man longs to be the strongest in the world. Every human being wants to think that they're special, that they're the chosen one. We all want to think that a traumatic story full of twists and turns, like the ones you'd find in TV and movies, is waiting for us in the future. The so-called desire to be a hero, or to be blunt, textbook Chinubio shit. Of course, even I had those kinds of desires. It could be very well my destiny to triumph over the demon girl. But if that really was my destiny, and I had to make it come true, I need a number of conditions to be met first. At the very least, I absolutely needed the ability to use cheats. But be it cheat codes for special attacks, or maybe even a god mode of some kind. I didn't want to deal with any pain or fear. If I couldn't cheat in some way, or in other words, if I was supposed to achieve that with my own power, there was no way I was able to do it. Which is why, if the person controlling me had lost all of their XP, that would be a huge blow to me. A super effective one. Super effective. I just barely got to school on time. It probably wasn't the best idea to stay up playing Vidya until early in the morning on a school night. I had to run in order to make it on time. When I got to the classroom door, I stopped and took a deep breath to try and catch my breath. I couldn't add in any way that'll make me stand out to my classmates. For me, even something like being late would be fatal. If the Doku's eyes all zeroed in on me, my life would be over. Is she gonna be in her? I slowly made my way into the classroom, keeping my head down. I couldn't let myself make eye contact with anyone. Of course, I didn't give my mindless greeting like, good morning, either. Trying to make my presence as undetectable as possible, I made myself invisible and running towards my seat. That was how I always did things. Today was no different. I made it to my seat without an issue and sat down. Soon after, I laid my head and arms face down on the desk, and from there, I was safe until Cameron started, but I only got to relax for a split second before someone's hand clapped against my back. Yo, Daku, you've come to school 3 times this week, haven't you? You're really getting serious now, huh? Misumi-kun again. Even though he was really getting on my nerves, I'd feel bad if I ignored him, so I started to reluctantly raise my head, only to hesitate. Was this Misumi-kun, the real one? 2 days ago, I had done what the demon girl told me to do and called him. When I talked to him, he'd been very clearly acting strange. I wonder if... No, I guess that doesn't make sense. I was trying to think, like... That feels like one of the ones I was meant to click, right? Like, the one that you joined in, with the pink-haired girl. Like, that seemed to have been the most impactful one yet. Like, it was actually real, but I'm pretty sure it was a delusion. But there was no, like, nothing saying it wasn't. Oh, nothing saying it was, really. And he really believes it. So I'm thinking, like, maybe that's one of the ones that you have to click to get a certain ending or whatever. Because it affects the story a lot. When I talked to him, he'd been very clearly acting strange. I mean, he'd told that Rimi was our classmate as if it was the most obvious thing in the world, which I hadn't expected at all. Maybe the demon guard brainwashed him, or maybe it was something else. Maybe the person controlling him had been switched out. Oh, hello. You out cold already? An electronic sound suddenly rang throughout the classroom. I felt a faint vibration in my chest. It was my cell phone. Shit! Now of all times? What kind of asshole would call me at a time like this? Not only was my cell phone going off, but even though I was sure I'd set it on vibrate, the ringtone was going off too. I guess I must have messed up the settings. Oh, Taco, your phone's ringing, bro. So I fucking know, you asshole. Yes, I know, goddammit. Should I just answer it? But if I did that, Misumi-kun would know I was faking being asleep. Besides, I didn't really like talking on the phone. But also, if I didn't pick up, it would be annoying. It would annoy the rest of the class. And considering how it was ringing loudly throughout the classroom, it had to be doing that already. I wasn't supposed to stand out. This was really, really bad. Hello, you're not gonna pick it up? Are you actually asleep? Yeah, why don't you like pretend like you were asleep, but that woke you up? Damn it! While I was freaking out over what to do, I've already lost my chance. I couldn't move now. The sound and vibration stopped. The call must have gone to voicemail. I let out a sigh of relief, soft enough that Misumi-kun wouldn't be able to hear it. It was definitely the right call for me to have figured out how to use the voicemail function. Hey Taku, who was it on the other end? Don't tell me, was it a chick? Was it the glasses chick that you went home with not too long ago? I'm right, aren't I? Damn it, you're so annoying. I just wanted to stop him to stop bothering me. That phone call had already made me stand out way too much. And Misumi hadn't always been this persistent. Though he had always been way too friendly with me, I thought he had at least had the capacity to take a hint. Oh, come on, knock it off already. She's real. I heard a voice from right next to Misumi-kun. Leave him be, Taichin. He seems really tired for some reason, so just lay off him for today. She was here in my classroom, like it was the most normal thing in the world. Oh, come on. He was probably just gaming way too hard last night. You're way too soft on him. You're just mad because I'm not nice to you. And why would I, considering how you act around women? You're the enemy of all of us, I swear. Even they were having a friendly conversation like it was the most normal thing in the world. She was blending in like it was the most normal thing in the world. I was too scared to look up. I didn't want to acknowledge that she was there. But even if you aren't the nicest to me, I've got loads of chicks that'll sub in for you. So, ha. Are you serious right now? I've been telling you over and over that you should stop saying things like that. Your girlfriend's gonna cry if she hears you. Not that I know who your current girlfriend is. You need to finish Chaos Child, you reminded me. Yeah, I had that too. I bought that like 2 years ago and I was like, should I like play Chaos Hard first? And then like I was looking into it and I never got around to it. So I need to do that after as well. Also, hi, you came at like the worst time ever because I'm ending like right now. I'm ending in like 5 minutes. I didn't know you were into a visual novel and stuff. Have you read the old Steins Gate? Don't like spoil anything. We're trying to get old Mega Mash in chat here to play or watch it because apparently he got bored after 3 episodes and stopped watching it. Oh, there's the bell. Oh, there's the bell. Here comes the teacher. Had that demon girl really been my classmate all along? No, there was no way. She hadn't been here 2 days ago, or at the very least, the only person that had spoken to me that day was Misuken. I hadn't gone to school yesterday, so I wasn't sure about that one. But when I came today, she was here. How? How did she manage to worm her way in? You still have so many questions. All right, please don't spoil anything about it. This is my first time playing. Did you get like um did you do it with like the new patch? Did you like read like Noah with the new patch that came out like 3 days ago, or did you watch it like before? Oh, did you read it before? No. Apparently, like the original game is like fucked. Like the translation's like horrendous, and there was loads of stuff like missing from the game. You read it legit like a month ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, I bought it like around like before Christmas. Oh no, I think I bought it like when it first came out. Magazine on Twitter like told me about it, or he like bought it or something, and he tweeted about it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? It's actually on, because it was banned off Steam for ages because of like the content, and there's like stuff that like was removed from it. So a team like uh translated it from the ground up and like added all this shit back in, and that's what I'm playing now. So I mean, I guess if you didn't notice that it was like uneligible, then that's what you downloaded. No, it literally didn't come out until like 3 days ago. Bro, that you just installed loads of viruses on your computer. There was already a patch. I don't know. Maybe you got a different patch. I'm not sure. I mean, if you read it and it was fine, then like it doesn't matter. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I was following this specific studio that was doing it, or this specific group of people that was doing it. Huh. Weird. Yeah, if you haven't watched or played Steins Gate, do that one next after Chaos Child. You will not be disappointed. Everyone took their seats once the sound of the bell announced the start of homeroom. Sensing that, I looked up cautiously. I gotta stop in a second because my food's ready. I surveyed the room with just my eyes. I wanted the voice from earlier to have just been an illusion. In order to prove that to myself, I needed to make sure that the girl was nowhere to be found in the classroom. I didn't see her. I didn't see anything that even remotely resembled her. Did that mean that really was a hallucination? My seat was in the 5th row from the front. There was 9 rows in total. She wasn't in any of the rows in front of me, which meant she was behind me. But I couldn't turn around. I couldn't allow myself to stand up. Damn it, this was so frustrating. Was she really here in the classroom or not? Dude, just look around. It's not weird to look around in a classroom. Alright, I'll be. I can probably do like 5-10 more minutes while it cools down. I'll be 1 sec. I'll see him at midnight, so. Okay, but if he's still about, I'll still be here. I didn't feel chills in the back of my neck. No one's looking at me. I didn't feel a gaze. Was she here? Or not here? Which was it? Still staring at the surface of the desk, I tried to detect her by just a presence alone. As right as I tried, I heard my homeroom teacher enter the classroom. I didn't remember the teacher's name. I had a feeling that it was Sukaji or Sukada, at least something like that. They were a PE teacher that graduated from an athletic college, and they were a total musclehead. However, he didn't really act like a kid, nor did he employ corporal punishment like one might expect him to. If anything, he was a type of teacher that knew how to take a joke. For some reason, the class all started murmuring about something, but right now, I was occupied with trying to detect this demon girl. Don't they have like roll call or something? Like, wouldn't that like clear it up? Did I really expect to be able to sense her by presence alone? This wasn't a manga. Was I an idiot? This is a visual novel. Right, listen up everyone. From today onwards, we've got a new transfer student. Oh, what the fuck? My homie, is this gonna be her? Nah. Dude, I don't even know. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. It's either gonna be her or it's gonna be like Senna. It's gonna be someone we've met before. I don't know which direction it's going. My homeroom teacher mumbled that to the class. Oh, so that was why the room was so noisy. Go on, Oriha. Give everyone a nice hello. I didn't hear the. Sounded lewd. I didn't hear that the supposed transfer student say anything. Was there really one here? I glanced towards the door. Ah, her. I vaguely remember her from like the anime, but not really. I don't want her to go to like the lolly direction and have like a fantasy. Let's just do reality this time. No worries, dude. I'm gonna be ending in a couple minutes. I've got my old pizza. Good, dude. It's like a lolly though. It's gonna go badly. Alright, just because you said. And sure enough, there was someone there. She was extremely petite, possibly even more so than Nanami. She looked fairly timid, emulating that Moe gets bullied all the time archetype. If I had to choose, she was probably around mid-tier when it came to 3D girls. For some reason, she was looking down at the floor, her eyes filled with tears. Aw. Head pats and nothing more. Oops. Wouldn't it be nice if the transfer student were some holy messages sent here to protect me and slay the demon? Whoever Rimi was, I had no doubt she was dangerous. My life was being eroded, and I knew that for a fact. Unless things changed, I'd be a dead man walking. That's why I'm here. Suddenly, the transfer student turned her gaze towards me and whispered that. No way. Takumi-kun, I'm here for blood. The demon girl is my target. Even though the transfer student's eyes were welling with tears, they were also filled with determination. Despite her timid appearance, I felt like I could trust her. There was no doubt that from an outsider's perspective, her words were blatantly nonsensical. I was the only person in the sea of confused people who wasn't perplexed by her first words. In fact, I was screaming for joy. Internally, of course. I'm saved! No doubt, an exorcist organization sent this girl to dispose of Rimi. Fuck yeah! Kill that bitch! This is good, by the way. Save it. Yeah, I know, but still. She still looks like a lolly. Taku, don't let her trick you. Rimi's panicked voice rang out from behind me. It's not me she's after. It's you. Don't listen to her. Cease your deception, demon. This is the end for you. You're not the demon here. But both of you, shut up. Right now, I didn't care who the real demon was, nor who my real ally was. I want to spend my life watching Bloodstone and playing ESO every day, and I'm happy with that life, so I can give a less of a damn about what you two do. In fact, you're doing me a favour if you killed each other. Yeah, like that cliche where two warriors hit each other at the same time, but both of them die. Following those words, I could feel a rising unease spread throughout the room. A chance of students whose name I didn't know, and a demon girl who had only been in this class since the day before yesterday, each glaring daggers at each other from their own separate corners of the room. The tension between them burning like a fuse trailing towards a pack of TNT. The homeroom teacher and the rest of the students were on the edge of their seats, watching intently as the events unfolded. Fine, I'll do as Taku says. I have no objections. I'll put you to rest, assassin. And I'll send you back to hell, Miss Demon. And then they made out. What? And then they both sprang into action. Of course, something like that would never actually happen. See, stuff like this happens when it's a fucking thing. I need to look back and see if I actually maybe I did reality. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm just confused. Like, why do some of the delusions get recognized and some of them don't? The transfer student remained as sheepish as ever, not uttering so much as a peep. Remy didn't actually say a word. In fact, she didn't give any indication that she was here at all. The scattered whispers grew to murmurs as the transfer student maintained her silence. So in order to confront her, the teacher placed his hand on her shoulder. Looks like she's a little nervous. All right, I'll take you off the hot seat. This is Orihara Kozu, everyone. I hope you'll all welcome her as a new member of the class. Orihara, your desk is over there in the back. Go ahead and take a seat. Next to the main character there. Yes, the one with blue hair. The transfer student made her way to the back without saying a word, keeping her head low to the ground. A seat was 4 rows behind mine. Should I pretend to watch her so I could catch a glimpse of the people behind me? The problem was that would draw a lot of unwanted attention to myself. Don't just turn around and stare at her. I didn't want any Dokins trying to pick a fight, or don't go staring at her just because she's cute or some bullshit like that. I was over a loss of what to do. Should I look now, or should I wait until class was over? My head still firmly pressed against my desk. I squeezed my fist tightly. Forget it. I was a coward. Just the thought of it. If I turned around, my eyes would meet with that girl's, sent shivers down my spine. Hey, you over there. Huh? Are you a baddie? If you are, then Cozy P is A-okay with killing you. The transfer students walked right by my seat. Taken aback, I glanced at her face. I was mad, only for her to immediately avert her gaze and continue walking. What was that voice? Yeah, that sounded like either Remy or Sarah. Behind us, so we're not in the main character's chair after all. Perhaps she's the main character. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my god, that's a huge revelation, Nagish. Oh my god, that makes so much sense. No doubt it had been just another one of my delusions. I've been feeling overwhelmed by them lately. Almost over reality and delusions were blending together. I was saying that. Still lacking the courage to turn around, my body stiffened even further. A wink. Squeezing inward in my seat. I tried to focus on staying completely still, desperately trying to avoid Mimi's attention. Dude, I don't believe she's in the class until we actually fucking see her. Right, I'm gonna leave it there. I was pretty good. That was pretty good. Ain't quite yet to chapter 4, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And on that bombshell, yep. Too true, too true. Yeah, I did across the obelisk for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours before this. Maybe 3 hours, I don't know. I did like an entire run. I've only been doing this for like maybe 2 hours. But yes, I have been live for 5 hours. Boop, 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 boop. I was like playing it anyway, so I'm like, I might as well just stream it. Right. Dude, somehow I keep following loads of people. Yeah, when I go to host someone, half the time there's nobody there. There's nobody live. Like what? Oh wait, okay. So there's a guy raided me recently or followed me recently, called Major Bishop. He's playing Ark. I don't know. I don't play that game or anything, but we're hosting. Spread the love, spread the love. All right. I'll see you around, Magish. Hope you feel better soon, buddy. Thanks.